Mega Freddie Max here, and I got this mic so I can do stuff like this. Whoa, 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 whoa! Sounds like I'm in a catacomb. I sound like I'm in the sewers, where I belong. Today we'll be diving in the terrible world that is those god-awful cloned animated story channels. So the one we'll be viewing today is called Storytime Animated. Let's check out the description. Just the description claims the purpose of this channel is to give people the opportunity to share their story about heartbreaks, unusual experiences, successes, or challenges in life, or anything that sound interesting, and have their story animated and shared with the world. Basically what it's claiming, these are true stories, right? But after watching this, dear God, these are the just let's get into it. So the first video we'll be partaking in experiencing with our eyeballs. It's called I Can't Feel Pain. So the video claims, by the title obviously, that this poor individual cannot feel pain. Dear God, that must be torture, except not physical torture, of course, purely psychological, because can't feel pain, you know. Laugh. Anyways, let's get right into this video. And I don't even know. Let's get into it.
Hi, I'm Ryan, and I have a rare disorder.
It's called schizophrenia. Yo, why do you keep posting cringe? Oh my God, like,
dude,
bro,
you literally have the most inconsistent.
Why do you post those terrible music videos?
Just keep getting louder.
I don't feel pain. I didn't always know this, though.
Got one way to test that out. I was gonna have a bit where I punched my camera, but I don't want to do that. So let's just continue.
Here's how it all started. My parents thought I was the most perfect baby in the world.
There's gonna be like a twist ending at the end where it's like he turns out to be like a serial killer. That'd be kind of funny, I think.
Why? I rarely ever cried. I was laughing most of the time and only broke into tears when I was hungry or needed my diaper changed.
There's this really funny thing though, where if you poke a baby's eye too hard, they start crying. It's pretty funny. Don't ask how I know. I just know, okay? Don't ask. Don't ask. It was
My parents' friends who also had babies were so envious that my parents were able to get a full 8 hours of sleep each night.
There's a funny way to keep a baby quiet.
Stay quiet, please. Oh my God.
Pretty effective method, honestly.
One funny story that my dad tells everyone over dinner is that when
There are bodies under the floorboards, and we don't tell anybody.
I was a toddler, I was playing in the dirt outside. He heard me laughing uncontrollably, so he came to see what could have been so amusing about a pile of dirt.
What? If you hear a baby laughing in dirt, I don't think that's nothing out of the ordinary, I feel. They see dirt and they're going to be like, out of context, I'm gonna look like an idiot.
When he looked at me, he gasped.
He gasped as he saw I was watching the Ryan's World, and he was like, "What kind of son have I raised? I am but a failure. Time to restart."
I'm sorry, boy. This is my fault.
You see, it was funny because it was violent.
I had a huge scorpion in my hands, and I was just playing with it like it was a teddy bear.
I'm not gonna pretend that I didn't one day take a scorpion and just, ow, you know, that. We've all done that once as a child, you know. So this is very relatable.
He also says I had a huge red mark on my leg.
Yeah, but that wasn't from the scorpion. That was from the diabetes.
I had a huge red mark on my leg where it had stung me. He screamed at me to drop it, then picked me up and ran into the house. I was still laughing, apparently.
The dad's just
Oh my god, my child has been stung by a scorpion.
Then the baby's just,
I just kind of feel kind of good right now.
My parents took me to the doctor to check if I was okay.
turns out I developed brain cancer. What you gonna do?
And I was. However, no one could understand why I wasn't screaming in pain. Before I continue, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to this channel. And make sure you hit that notification bell for more awesome content like this.
You telling me this true story? He's like, okay guys, I'm gonna send you the story. By the way, don't forget to subscribe. Wouldn't it be funny, guys, if you're watching one of my videos and all of a sudden I'm just like, hey guys, let's look at this dumb channel. By the way, don't forget to subscribe. Shilling.
I had two older brothers who were always pushing each other around, and when I was big enough to play their wrestling and boxing games, they included me too. They were always hitting or punching me.
Yeah, that's its own story. Yeah, when I was growing up, my siblings literally would beat the snot out of me. They'd constantly punch and hit me. That's how I developed my concussions and many things that caused my brain damage. I would actually, if this story was actually true, I'd understand why this person is like this from all the brain damage they've developed.
And instead of crying, I just hit and punched back harder.
Looks like we're developing a little case of that classic old violence. This child's becoming a not good dude. Yeah.
They'd often stop the games because they were in so much pain. I found it all amusing because I felt nothing.
Yeah. This kid's becoming a serial killer. You know that joke from earlier? No, it's becoming a reality. This is actually kind of frightening.
6, my family and I were on the beach, and my mom got a sea urchin stuck in her foot.
Rip? Why would I say rip, you might be asking yourself? Hold on for a second. I'm pretty sure sea urchins are poisonous. Yeah, the pain isn't the only thing you should be worrying about right now. I'm just saying.
She screamed and shouted in pain. Then she burst into tears. My father tried to pull it out, but the more he tried, the more it hurt.
Really?
I really couldn't understand why it affected my mother so much.
How did they not, okay, how have the parents not at this point discovered that their child can't feel pain? You telling me this kid never tripped and fell and didn't cry? You telling me that this kid's lack of ever crying due to pain and just laughing has never just come up as a conversation? Him being confused makes no sense, because this means he just doesn't even understand the general concept of pain, which, I mean, I guess for someone who has never felt pain, wouldn't make sense. But this kid's never questioned why everyone else cries about it, or just the concept of, or the idea of pain has never just been like available to him. It has never been said to him. No one's ever said, bro, don't you hate when this happens? He's like, no. And like, why? I might have been going on for a while just now, but
So I went into the sea and caught another sea urchin. I dropped it onto the sand and jumped on it. It tickled.
It tickled.
Mom, this is fun. Why are you crying?
Yeah. What reason would you have for that to hurt? You guys are so dramatic.
I said. Oh my God, Ryan, she said. We both had urchins stuck in our feet. I was giggling and my mom was crying.
I wonder why she was crying, but I wasn't. Then I pulled out a sharp object and then started stabbing myself directly into the heart. And they were just like, oh my God, what's going on? I'm like, why are you guys freaking out? What, are you freaking losers?
My poor dad had to deal with it all.
He just sighs. My wife has a poisonous animal stuck in her foot. So is my son. He's giggling about it. My wife's screaming. Ow. Can't believe this keeps happening to me, this is so inconvenient.
He drove us to the hospital where they helped us to remove the spikes. For my mother, this seemed unbearable, but it didn't affect me at all. And I guess that is when I realized I was a bit different.
That was the moment. That's what it took. Yeah, I just cut my arm off and everyone was freaking out about it, man. This kid is driving me insane.
I decided to use this difference to my advantage. At school, I developed the nickname Fearless.
No one's calling you fearless, bro. No one's calling you fearless. Why do people call you fearless? Let's find out. Let's find out what stunts you did to get that title.
I climbed to the top of the monkey bars and deliberately throw myself down. Or I'd swing really high, then just jump off midair. One day, I brought a lighter to school and tried to impress a girl by burning my finger.
He's cracked the code, guys. He's cracked the code. He just scoots up. He's like, "Hey, girl, you want to see a cool trick?"
But I have to warn you, don't try any of this at home, or anywhere for that matter.
Wait, don't do... What's up? I already got the lighter. Let's just keep going, man. Yeah.
I got into trouble for this because eventually the other kids wanted to attempt my stunts. When they did, they'd end up in excruciating pain with broken limbs.
Sounds a little familiar to an actual similar story.
It got so bad that my parents were called into a meeting and I was expelled for being a bad influence.
I was gonna make a joke about that not being realistic, but let's not lie to ourselves here. That would happen.
Justice doesn't exist in the school system.
That's why I say in school you need a lawyer.
At my new school, I became a bully.
You know, as you do. Let's see his reason for becoming a bully.
Because I was angry that those stupid boys from my other school got me in trouble.
I can't think of a better reason. I don't know.
I became the most feared boy at school, and people would think twice before crossing my path.
I know I'm not getting the I know we ain't, me and you, the viewer, are not getting the same vibes from this kid. Alright, listen. I'm just saying... Can't play that for too long or else this video is not going to be mine anymore.
The bigger boys in the higher grades tried to mess with me once, but I beat them up so badly that they learned to stay away from me. They were so shocked when I only laughed at them while they punched and kicked me. I have to admit that part of me really loved the attention and respect.
You're a whore. You're a whore, just admit it.
I would do things just for the thrill and attention.
Oh no, he's gonna become Logan Paul.
For example, one afternoon, my parents decided they'd take us kids out to enjoy a cool stroll in the zoo.
I know where this is going. There's gonna be a whole 180 and it's gonna be like he's the Harambe kid or something.
After laughing at the penguins and observing the zebras, I began to feel a bit bored. As we approached the lion's pit, I got a bright idea.
I was joking.
Ryan, no! My mom screamed, but it was too late. I had already jumped in. I walked around, making funny faces at the lions while the crowd screamed for me to get out.
No!
Many people had already taken out their phones and they were recording.
You telling me kid falls in the lion pit and that doesn't end up on like YouTube or the news or anything? Not once. It's according to this, everyone pulled their phones. Are you telling me no one uploaded that? If this is a true story, I'm starting to think this might be fake. Think of the title on YouTube: Kid falls in lion pit. You tell me just no one's gonna take the opportunity to upload that? I'd upload it. I'd exploit a child in danger for views. I don't care if it's unethical. I want views.
I ignored them because there was a cute little lion cub approaching me. I ran towards it and picked it up. Suddenly,
It mauled me.
Suddenly, I heard more shouting. "Ryan, look out!" my dad said. Before I could even turn around, a lioness, the cub's mother I guess, jumped on my back and bit my arm.
Video over. I swear to God, if he's like, if it says, I swear, if it says the lion bit me and then I started giggling, I'm gonna do something bad. By the way, YouTube, I'm joking. I'm not gonna do anything bad. Please, I'm joking. Please.
I turned around and pried her jaws apart with my bare arms. Then I laughed and hopped out of the lion's pit.
Oh, I bet you did. Yeah. This is slowly turning into like a movie or something. I gotta go get something to eat while I watch this. This is insane. This kid's awesome. He pried a lion's mouth him and jumped out while giggling. By the way, this isn't scripted. I legitimately predicted that. I haven't seen this video before, but now I'm gonna set my finger on fire again.
I was bleeding, but I seemed totally unbothered by the whole incident.
Okay, don't act. I know you don't feel pain, but you definitely feel fear, okay? Don't bring up, oh, I wasn't scared of a lion mauling me to death. Yeah, you might not have a concept of pain or anything, but you definitely have a concept of death or something. I don't know.
I went viral that same afternoon.
Oh, you went viral? Let me see the video. Let me find it. Let me look up kid falls in lion pit. Hold on. Yeah, anytime it's someone falling into a lion pit, it's always a drunk man. A very suicidal drunk man.
Everyone was talking about me.
That guy's so cool. He jumped in a lion pit and almost got himself killed. Nah, you're now the clown of the internet. Congratulations. Like, you definitely got that lion shot or something for biting a kid. And let's not, I'm just saying history definitely will repeat itself. Rest in peace, Harambe. You are so cool.
In the weeks that followed, I became so popular that I was invited by several talk show hosts to
Where are you now? What talk show? It's like, oh, you jumped in the lion pit? You were the kid who jumped in the lion pit? What was that like? What was that like? What was that? Was it scary? Now, which one was it? You gonna say who it was? Or are you trying to keep your identity secret? You're not gonna keep your identity secret when you're Lion Kid talk shows. Because if this is true, everyone would be like, oh, I know who this is. It's the kid who jumped in the lion pit. He goes to my school, yeah.
It was all the attention I'd been craving, and more.
You're a whore. You whore yourself out online. You whore yourself out in front of your family and your friends. You're a whore, plain and simple.
I'm gonna make my prediction right now. He likes the feeling he gets from all the attention. So he's like, what's my next stunt gonna be, okay? He's gonna go to the moon, right? While riding like a nuke or something. And he's gonna do a backflip right before it explodes. Land in the Atlantic Ocean. Then swim down, meet a megalodon. He's gonna like beat it up, rough it up, you know. Then he's gonna go back up to like, I don't know, Antarctica, and he's gonna like wrestle a polar bear. He's gonna come back, swim all the way back to America, wherever the hell he is right now, and he's gonna emerge and say, "Where's the cameras?"
As a teenager, I continued participating in extreme sports. I got tired of the bully reputation.
Yeah, that does get pretty tiring, you know? This kid's life is so wacky. It's got like several seasons. First season, alright, his like origin story. Season 2, the whole lion thing. Season 3, sports. Season 4, nuke moon, boom explosion, final season. He dies.
So when I moved to high school, I hung out with the tough kids who were also into extreme sports.
My favorite sport, motorcycle.
We called ourselves the Daredevils.
You did. You gave yourself a group name, and it's not self-deprecating. If you have a group name and it's not self-deprecating, you failed already. I'm cool, dude. And I'm a cool dude. I'm a daredevil.
Yeah! And every other week, we try a different challenge.
Oh my god, this video is it's literally halfway already. I feel like I've literally been filming for 35 minutes. Oh my god.
We went mountain biking, paragliding, skydiving,
Nuke riding,
and base jumping. But my ultimate favorite was
murder.
Cliff diving. I loved the adrenaline rush I'd get while falling through the air and then crashing on the sea. Unlike my friends, I had absolutely no fear. One afternoon on one of our cliff diving adventures, I had an experience that influenced the rest of my life.
I fell, hit my face on a sheet of metal, and my face split open like a book.
It was just like any ordinary day.
I was joking!
While making silly gestures on a cliff, I ended up losing my balance. Instead of falling into the sea, I hit the rocks and I ended up breaking both my arm and my leg.
That's it? Just the arm and the leg, not all of them? I broke my arm and my leg, so I started sinking under the water. and then I was about to drown. But guess what? I secretly have gills, apparently. So I talked to the fishmen underwater, and they brought me back to the beach. Then I used my super heal powers to fix my leg and fix my arm that was bending into the other dimension.
I only knew this because this is what the x-rays at the hospital revealed.
Oh, really? The x-ray is what let you know your limbs were broken, not the literally them sticking in other directions that they're not supposed to before. It's gotta have some sort of, like, learning disorder or something, like...
I felt completely fine. Luckily, my problem could be easily fixed, but the doctors were extremely puzzled about why I seemed to feel no pain at all.
This is the first time it's come up in a medical situation where the doctors realize, oh yeah, this kid can't feel pain.
Although I could have been discharged earlier, they decided to keep me longer.
To do experiments on me. They stole my blood to make super serums.
Several tests were conducted, and after that, they did several more. After what seemed like weeks, they called me and my parents to a meeting.
They told me I had unoperable lung cancer.
Breaking Bad.
Many doctors were present, and everyone looked at me like I was some sort of alien.
You are an alien. Let's not pretend you did not come from another planet. He's got the powers of an alien, and he's as smart as something that's never been to Earth before.
The head doctor looked at my parents and said, "This is something we've never seen before at our hospital. Your son Ryan is incapable of feeling pain."
We conducted this after stabbing him many a times in everything in his body. We took out his nerves and started squeezing them as hard as we could. He didn't even flinch. By the way, he was knocked out when it happened, but that might have something to do with it, you know?
He said. "What?" my dad said.
You telling me this? I never could even have imagined this. This never came up before. Oh!
Think about the way he has behaved his whole life. I'm pretty sure there were many clear indicators, but now that we've done the tests, we know for sure, replied the doctor. Well, there was the scorpion sting when he was a baby, and he never cried when his brothers hit him, and he'd do all kinds of crazy stunts in elementary school.
But I thought those were just coincidences with no correlation. Those were isolated events in my mind.
My dad went blank for a while, and then it all clicked.
Oh my God. My wife's cheating on me.
Well, Ryan needs to be extremely careful because he is unable to feel pain. He seems to constantly put himself in life-threatening situations.
Thankfully, we've come up with a solution. We're going to put him in a nice padded room with a nice jacket that'll keep him safe. We'll give him macaroni on Sundays.
He will do things that ordinary humans would probably think twice about attempting.
Including murder.
Think about it. He could have killed himself while jumping off that cliff, he said. Our suggestion is that he stops engaging in dangerous sports. Can you just calm down and behave like a normal young man for a while? He said while looking at me.
That's rough.
I don't really care what any of you have to say, I said while walking out of the room and slamming the door.
They realized I'd become a potential threat to others around me, including myself. So they detained me with officers. And then they put me in a funny room with cells. I went up to them and I said, "You think these bars can keep me in here? Count your days."
I was angry. How dare they all talk about me like that while I was right in the room?
How dare they judge my meth addiction that makes me not feel pain? Oh my God.
I loved my life and I loved the adrenaline rush I felt when I took risks.
My suicide attempts. I can't do them anymore.
I wasn't about to put myself in a bubble
So I jumped out of the building.
just because I couldn't feel pain. Instead of persuading me to be careful, the doctor's revelation caused me to feel like I was superior to everyone else.
Starlight lied to you just now. She did. I don't.
He's gonna become
make mistakes.
Homelander.
I'm not just
He's
like the
just
rest
gonna
of
he's
you.
gonna be like,
I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better. I am better.
I am better.
I decided to use my ability to make money. I started making videos while I hurt myself to see if I could get lots of views on YouTube.
no! Hey, Nick Crowley, I think I found another channel for you to talk about.
I did everything I could think of. I stuck needles in my hands,
Ugh!
smashed bricks on my head.
You said you couldn't feel pain, not get brain damage. That whole brain damage thing It makes sense now.
And one time, I even set myself on fire.
Welcome back to my epic channel, everybody. Today, I'll be setting myself on fire. Let's go. I'm gonna drench myself in gasoline. I'm just gonna,
People were horrified,
Really?
but I found it hilarious. I gained more and more views and more followers. When I finally hit 1 million, I felt the greatest sense of accomplishment I had ever felt in my life.
No, you didn't. Okay, this is definitely fake. You're telling me I wouldn't hear about any of these? Hits 1 million subscribers, basing a channel off where he hurts himself. YouTube would have taken that down instantly. I'm not surprised that my channel doesn't get banned just because I showed off a little fire in it. All I'm saying, YouTube's got a big problem. I mean, that's pretty obvious. I hate this. I hate this platform so much.
I also continued my dangerous stunts, and when I was old enough to drive,
Take the keys away from this dude. He's gonna kill somebody. That whole murderer thing is kind of making sense now. I predicted it. I hate that.
I did every single thing I was told not to do in driving school.
Speed up in a school zone.
I also bought a motorbike, which became my favorite thing in the universe. I learned how to do many stunts, and of course, I did them all without a helmet.
One day, I fell off and split my skull open. You could see my brains like watermelons against pavement.
This was the worst mistake, and maybe I should have cared and listened to my mom when she begged me to wear it.
Here, let's wait for the consequences. Please tell me he dies.
One night, while I was biking through the mountains and testing out some stunts all by myself, my lights stopped working.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, then I found out I have a magic power where I can turn my eyes into light bulbs.
It didn't bother me much, but I decided I should try to head back home. I went speeding through the mountains back to the town. I really enjoyed feeling the breeze through my hair. I didn't think that speeding was a bad idea because these roads were usually clear at night. Suddenly, I saw a bright white light and heard a huge bang. Then, everything went black. I woke up to a masked face staring directly at me. I looked around and realized I was in an operating room.
I'm sorry, kid. Turns out we had to build you a new brain because the last one you splattered against the asphalt.
I looked at my body and realized I had many cuts all over.
Just cuts. He gets hit by a car and he's just got cuts. No broken limbs. Nothing amputated from it just being beyond repair. No brain damage. No nothing. It's just like, oh, I got a few scratches, from the car hitting me at like 35, 50 miles per hour.
Just a flesh wound.
The surgeons were trying to stitch me back together, and it looked really gross. I didn't feel anything, but just seeing myself like that really upset me.
It really upset me, man. Just kind of a bummer.
I was given a few sleeping pills, and when I woke up hours later, my parents were sitting by my side. Oh, Ryan, my love, what have you done to yourself now?
What have you done? Look at this medical bill. It's ridiculous. We're not paying it for it though, so we're deciding to pull the plug on you.
My mom said while wiping the tears off her face. What do you mean, Mom? I just feel a bit drowsy, but I'm perfectly fine.
My son, he's got irreversible brain damage,
I said while trying to sit up. But I couldn't move. I tried and tried again, but nothing worked.
Yes! He got paralysis! Thank God. This menace, this dangerous individual is now stopped. He got paralysis. Now, if he didn't get it, the world might have just ended. He might have launched a few nukes somewhere. I don't know, man. This world would not be safe if this dude was still walking around.
What happened to me? I asked. You were in a really horrible accident. You were paralyzed from the waist down, and you might be confined to a wheelchair for the next 3 years, honey.
Last chance to look at me, Hector.
My mom said. But that can't be. I didn't feel anything, I said, shocked. At that moment, the doctor walked in. Although you don't feel anything, you have badly injured yourself.
Look at this dude's grin! Oh my God, he's just like me!
Your body needs time to heal. After 2 or 3 years, we'll get started with the physical therapy to help you walk again. But you will never be the same. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You can't walk again. You piece of...
He said. I sighed and thought that I should have listened to them.
Did you learn your lesson? Fine, I guess. Got paralyzed now.
When they asked me to be more careful, I was filled with regrets.
No more monkeys jumping on the bed. I had to make the joke, I'm sorry.
I now have 1 year left to go, and I'm really hoping that I'll be able to stand soon. Although I still can't feel pain, I feel humiliated and frustrated like this.
Good.
I should have made better decisions, and when I get out of this wheelchair, I will stop.
You're clearly standing! What do you mean get out of this? Look at him, he's standing! This is all a lie!
It's a lie!
The message of this video was, don't become a serial killer. So yeah, that's pretty much it. What would I rate this video? I think it... Well, first of all, it was fake. Obviously. I'm smart. I know it's fake. The lies don't deceive me. So yeah, that video was pretty terrible, I guess, in the end. Just like this one. Bye-bye now. I hate you. I'm gonna go do what he did, and I'm gonna go, jump off something. Funny mic controls.